Greetings, salutations, citizens of the Imperium. Welcome to Let's Paint. I'm your host, Trooper 6, and today we are doing Soul Drinkers. Everybody loves the Soul Drinkers. Wait, hold on. You don't know who the Soul Drinkers are? Why am I not shocked? Well, you ain't gonna find some lore here about that. However, you will find a little step-by-step in a way. We have Royal Purple. That is going to be 90% of the model right there, if not 95% of the model. We have a Firstborn Marine. There we go. Slightly dry brushed. And we have maybe a hope and a prayer. What we're going to do first, though, is grab some matte white. And we're going to dab, just little. Kind of brighten up some spots. It's kind of like a little bit of a slap job technique here. We didn't start with black. We started with gray because this particular model was actually painted. Was prepped over a year ago. And we are only just now getting to it. It was originally slotted to be man, who are they? They're so cool. Angels Resplendent. That's who we were originally going to do. And I don't know, there was nothing specific about the Marine, so it didn't really matter what we chose. But I went ahead and chose obviously Soul Drinkers for this time. Because why not? Why not, my friends? I like Soul Drinkers. They got a little bit of a rumble-tumble history. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not an lore expert about them. If I'm not mistaken, they are no longer around. Their chapter is extinct. If that is the case, that's a little boo-hoos. That is a little bit of a boo-hoo because I know they had some fans. I know they definitely had some fans out there. I have the Soul Drinker book. I had not finished it, naturally. But I was also getting kind of burnt out when I got to that book. I don't remember what else I had painted, but now that we got everything pretty white, let's jump in with our Royal Purple. Bloop. And we'll just paint this bad boy up. I know this mat looks like a mess. I've been thinking about getting a new one lately. We'll see. We'll see what we do. How long that'll take. There's also that bad boy sitting back there. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. Anybody who's in a Battletech? There you go. I've been doing that one on the side. I thought about saving one for the show, but I was like, we could talk about that in a different episode. Today we are here to discuss some 40K. And if this is your first time stopping by the channel, welcome. Go ahead and consider hitting that subscribe button. I usually paint a mini every weekend. For instance, this is it's 10 o'clock. It should be about 10:10 right now on Thursday. What is it, May 7th? Yeah. And this should go up May 8th or May 9th at the latest. Depends on how long it takes me to get things edited. Shouldn't take me too long. I mean, it's not that hard to edit this show. But either way, I do welcome you. I hope you guys stick around. You will not find your average painting channel here. I'm not here to give you a straight up tutorial at all times. I'm also here to talk your ear off because I believe in the buddy system. Never paint alone. always paint with a buddy. I don't know if anybody... So when it comes to the Warhammer community, so me and my friends, when we were playing, I used to go over to their house like once a week, once every other week, and I'd paint with them. That was where the whole idea of me even starting this channel kind of originated. They liked my painting so much, they were like, dude, you should totally do that on YouTube. And I was like, okay, cool. I guess I'll give it a shot. And here we are, like 3 years later, 4 years later, 3 years. Yeah. Anyway, we used to sit there and paint together, and all of us were used to painting our models, you know, at home by ourselves, which is fun. It's fine. But it was also, you know, you don't really realize just how refreshing it is to sit there and paint with a buddy. You know, you have someone there to shoot the shit with. Now, granted, you and I can't exactly have a full-blown conversation right here, right now, but you can check out any of my videos. I'm not shy when it comes to the comments. I will reply back to you. I always try to do my best there. Get a hold of everybody that I can. I forgot to start off with the soft parts. It's been so long since we had done traditional painting. Usually we go with a slap chop technique. Either way, yeah, I've always tried to do my best and answer everybody. But here you will learn a thing or two. You'll see how to do things, how to not do things, and hopefully you get a better understanding of, hey man, it's just painting. Unless you're really going to be entering your stuff into a contest, it's not that serious, man. It's not that serious. It's just painting. Everybody needs that crazy guy to paint with. I'll be your crazy guy. You could sit here and talk to the trooper. Woohoo! So I've been working on a new camera angle. Might not seem new to you guys, but it is kind of new to me. Usually the ring light is like right here, right? And I'm looking at it underwater. Now the ring light is, instead of up here, it's more cocked, and I'm looking through the gap between where the bottom of the phone is and the bottom of the ring light, and I'm looking through the gap and painting. You know, I'm trying to keep things in frame a lot more for you guys, because believe it or not, when I'm editing, I see just how much I might stray from the camera view, or I'll be just chilling down here painting, and that's just kind of, it's aggravating. If it's aggravating me, I'm sure it's aggravating y'all. So I'm just trying to do my best by keeping it up here in the frame. I even give myself hell in the editing process. Sometimes I'm just down here for too long and I just write some BS up at the top. It's fun. It's fun. You got to be able to crack jokes about yourself, okay? But we can't forget to come back and do all the soft parts. I can't even remember where I'd gotten this particular model. Because if I'm not mistaken, this is not from the Tactical Marine set. That box set. No, all those Tactical Marines, none of them are running like this. So I'm really having a brain fart on where I could have gotten this. I want to say that this one came from a buddy of mine, and that I was able to dismantle whatever he had done or attempted to do, and I'm repurposing it for this. But I don't know. I've had this model for quite a while, and now I can't remember. Also, what I found was funny with this model is I decided on this model might be 2 hours ago. I was having such a hard time deciding because, of course, all y'all know that I've been a Warhammer painter since before this channel even started. And very recently, I have now dipped my brushes into another universe. And it has consumed pretty much all of my inspiration and painting desire. And I'm not really turning my back on 40K. I've said that before, but man, it is tough. You know, you got the new hotness. That's what it is. You got the new hotness. You want to play with the new hotness. And yeah, so all of my painting desires have been toward that. And what is it that I'm dancing around that you might be asking? Well, the answer was right over there the whole time. That's right. It is BattleTech. I've been absolutely loving BattleTech. Like I said, I don't plan on abandoning 40K much. I don't think I ever really could. Even if I might take a step away from it, I don't think I could ever drop it. I like 40K too much. It's a really rich universe, of course. It's got awesome, deep lore. Some dark lore. I love grimdark. And BattleTech does have some grimdark, and it has a lot of it if you know where to look. Or if you just think about it in that kind of aspect of it, because it could be a dark and twisted world. You know, there is no chaos over there. It's just humans, and we are capable of so much, as we're even seeing here in our real world. And it's getting harder and harder to ignore any of that stuff just to have fun painting. But before we get into any of that, because that's not what we're here for. Oh, that was a little baby burp. I couldn't even get that out. Anyway. Like I said, I don't plan on leaving 40K. I don't even think I can. I have too much fun here. I have factions that I loved painting. I would get more into that. However, people have been dropping some questions for the Q&A video. And I'm honestly really excited to do that. I would really, really like to do that. So I'm glad that people are at least putting it out there, putting out their questions. I've made it limitless to however many questions you guys wanted to ask. You, by all means, ask away. I do not care. You know, because I'm very aware of how the engagement meter really works. You know, you'll get 1,000 views, right? You get 1,000 views, you'll get 50 likes in those 1,000 views. And out of those comments, you might get 3. So the engagement totally drops with the deeper of the level of engagement. Because not everybody's vocal. I rarely ever comment on anything on YouTube anymore. I've left my comments here and there, but usually the videos that I find are so old that there's kind of no point, in a way, I guess. I mean, there's always a point to leave your 2 cents and all that fun stuff, but I don't know, if the creator is not ever gonna get back to me, I'm just talking to the wind. or if anybody else in the community is not going to talk back, you know, it does really feel like you're talking to the wind there, which is whatever. I guess it really depends on the context and what do you really have to say? Is it something that you really want to discuss with people, or are you just putting your 2 cents out there because screw it? Like, for example, actually, now that it crosses my mind, what was it? Today I was seeing a whole bunch of that news about Star Fox 64 getting another remake for the Switch 2. And I couldn't help it. It wasn't Nintendo that I had commented on. It was somebody else that was sharing it because everybody online is talking about it right now. I was like, yeah, you know, I'm kind of upset that I'm not going to get to play this. We're going to get some getting out True Copper to hit a bunch of the detailing, like the rim of the pauldrons and the Aquila. Anything else we think it might stand with. But anyway, so I'd left my 2 cents like, yeah, I'm really upset that I'm not going to be able to get to play this. You know, I was kind of looking, you know, personally, I would love to play that thing. It looks awesome. You know, when we played Star Fox when it first came out, the remake that you see the trailers for, that's what it looked like to us. That's what it looked like back then. And it would be amazing to play something that beautiful and really get to relive that. However, I'm not going to get to play it because it is for it's for the Switch 2. And I'm not getting that. I refuse. I stated it before when the Switch 2 was announced, and then I reserved my thoughts on it. I watched the trailers. I saw what they were promoting about it, and it doesn't even sound like you're going to own the system. Like, you can buy it, but you don't own it. Well, that's stupid. We have enough of that going on in the country. There's way too much of that. And the games, apparently when you buy those, you don't own them either. Okay. And what, you don't get cartridges anymore? Like, if I want the physical media, I don't get those anymore? That's not okay. I don't like that at all. I definitely don't support that. So, when I was looking into all of this and basically all of my worst fears were being confirmed, I said, okay, well, that sucks. I guess I'm done playing Nintendo. The Switch is about the most advanced I will get then. And I haven't bothered touching the new one, which there hasn't been anything that I want to. You know, unless I want to play Skyrim again. Which is funny, because Skyrim is exactly... That's exactly how I played Skyrim, was on the Switch. It wasn't even on my Xbox, which I have it there too. I got it on the Switch because the Switch is far more convenient. But now that my kids have grown up a little bit, I've been able to play the Xbox just a little bit more because now they're even interested. But like, ooh, what is that game? Ooh, what is that game? And I'm like, ooh, I'll show you. I'll happily show you that. And then they have games that they love watching. And then there's games that they're like, could you not? I'm like, yeah, I won't. Don't worry. So, I don't know. It's not like Nintendo would ever personally reach out to me or anything like that, but I don't like shutting the door on them, you know, because Nintendo's been there for basically all of my life. We had an SNES growing up. We had an SNES. We had the N64. That was my console for forever. So I'm going to get out some skeleton bone. And I'm going to do the knee right there. As far as I know, when it comes to Fuck, man. My brain. It no work. Soul Drinkers, that their colors are purple, bronze/gold, or maybe even that dark copper. That's what I've been using. And bone. They have some bone color to their stuff. And it really does accent that very nicely. For anyone that might be curious, but like, really bone? Well, look at it. It stands right there. Stands out. It contrasts it in a very complimentary way. And I like that very much for it. So, it is unfortunate that I will not be able to play the new hotness. And so many people are mad about the new hotness. They're like, man, really? You just want a new game. It is asinine for them to say that this is a new Nintendo game. It's not. You remade it. It is okay to admit that you just did a remake if you had no other ideas. And I even saw one person, they didn't even care too much about that. They were just like, why this game? Why not? I think they said Assault. I don't even know which one they're talking about because I've only ever played 64. Because I jumped from the N64 to the Xbox. To the fucking Xbox. That's a massive jump in technology. I don't care what anybody says. That is a massive jump in technology because I missed out on the PlayStation and the PlayStation 2, more or less. I say more or less when it comes to PS2 because my brother had a PS2. So naturally, I did get to play some, I played GTA 3, but Vice City was one that I played, Star Wars Bounty Hunter. I want to say there were a couple others, but I don't really remember if I did. He's moving right along. I say we get out some Black Templar contrast paint, and we do those soft parts that I've been avoiding. Some other things like the mask hose and the bolter. Because why not? I miss the old bolter rifle. So here was something funny that I always considered this to be funny. So you have this bolter. I love this bolter. It's classic. I even have one sitting up on the wall. It's one of those foam prop ones. This is amazing. However, now they have the big bolt rifle, right? So what happened to this bolter? Well, now it's a scout. Now it's a scout weapon. They've been like demoted to scout weapons. They don't even have these as their main weapons anymore. Which is fine because, the new bolter is apparently superior. Now, of course, you're going to run around with your superior weapons. Excuse me. I mean, why wouldn't you, right? It's just, I thought that was interesting that they all but got rid of it. I was like, hold on, man. Where did this thing go? Where did this thing come from? So I'm looking at them while I was doing some scouts, and this is like last year, man. I'm looking at them, I'm like, oh my god. They're using the bolters that the Firstborns used to use. So they just got repurposed, which is that's fine with me, because all the scouts are Primaris scouts anyway. They're not even Firstborn. I will forever be a Firstborn fan. That comes from my love of Cacarodons and Gabriel Seth, because he was very much against. He was very much against them, the Primaris, and for good reason. I still agree with him. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should read Devastation of Baal. It's a fantastic, fantastic, fantastic story. So good. It's so fucking good. If you don't believe me, seriously, go read it. And if you read it and then you still don't believe me, I can't help you there. It's whatever. I have heard mixed reviews when it comes to the author. I'll say that. What is it, Guy Haley? Unless it's Guy Haley and we're just being ignorant Americans, I really don't know. But until I find out, I'm just gonna call him Guy Haley. So yeah, I've heard mixed reviews. Some people really don't like his writing. They'll say it's like lazy or predictable or something. And I'm like, well, I don't really have much experience. I don't have anything to base that off of. I don't have anything to compare it to. Well, like when it comes to his writing, I can compare him to other writers, but meh. Not going to do that right now. But as far as his writing, I'm like, I don't know. I'm sure I've read something else that was him, and I just can't remember to even tell you that, like, yeah, sure, it's this, or yeah, it's that. And I don't know. We're getting out gunmetal now. Trucking right along for this. See, that's one reason I like the slap chop method, is because things can really move along. You know, we're 25 minutes into this. Roundabout way. I mean, we're all right. Doing pretty good. I swear though, I would like to play that game. The new Star Fox game. I really would like to try that. Hopefully a friend of mine who has a Switch 2 would grace me with a chance to try it, because I would very much like that. But also, if I don't get that chance, I'm not that worried about it. It's kind of whatever. So I was also trying to find background music, so we've landed on Final Fantasy X Besaid Island ambiance, because that's just beautiful, man. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful, lads. It's freaking beautiful. Anyway, I haven't forgotten about this holster. I've just been jumping all over the place, and every time I come back to it, I'm like, right, we got to do that holster. So don't worry, I'll get the paint out. You just hold your freaking horses, man. You sit here and watch as it's focused on my thumb and not the model. You just watch. Watch it. Oh my god, I forgot the back of his leg. Jesus, man. We're not prepared for this mini, unfortunately. We're 30 minutes in, I can tell you flat out. I did not want to do this. This is what I was talking about earlier when it came to the motivation and the inspiration. Battletech has stolen my attention. It really, really has. And it's hard. It's hard to get it back. As someone who has ADHD from birth, so if anybody's like, oh, we got another self-diagnoser. No. You just hold on there, Pippi. Yeah, man, I forgot the inside of his arm. My fuck. We're being stupid. See what I mean? Yeah, I'm always jumping to the next thing, the next new thing, the next awesome thing, the next thing that's got my attention and makes my imagination go whatever that might be. And right now it is Battletech. Battletech. It's so slick and it's so clean. Battletech. Battletech. Don't know why I'm singing with glee. Oh, because it's Battletech. And it has me excited. And I don't care what you fucking think. And I haven't felt this excited for Warhammer in quite a while. And I think this goes to show, because I was not in the mood to paint this today. I honestly forgot that I was supposed to even paint it until I think yesterday. It hit me and I was like, oh shit. It's going to be Thursday. My wife was like, and? Dude, I didn't record. I'm like, yeah, remember? I try to upload on Fridays. I don't like uploading on Saturday because then it just leaves Saturday and maybe Sunday for the views. Because, at least for my channel, it's pretty quiet on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. It's pretty darn quiet. So I've kind of moved away from posting things on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays and maybe even Thursday. I've kind of just moved away from it because it's not doing me anything right now. So that's okay. Oh my god, we gotta find music. It's just, oh my god. Sorry, they changed the setup of this, so now it takes me a minute to actually find something, to find what I am looking for, and I'm not looking for much. You know what? Give me some lo-fi. What kind of lo-fi? Of course, we can't just be simple with it, can we? No, we can't. What are we gonna do? We're gonna do Pokemon Silver. That's right, I went there. Pokemon friggin' Silver. Get over it. All right. Marine. Looking good. Looking mean. Looking gnarly. We're going to give just a dash of white real quick. I'm going to get out my thinner brush. Hopefully this works for us. I'm just going for those eye lenses real quick. Oh man, I hope this works. Oh, that could be a lot worse. Yeah, it could be a lot worse. These Firstborns are not always that easy. I mean, the helmets haven't really changed all that much. The scaling on the helmets is kind of there. They haven't really changed all that much. So it's okay. It's just, damn. You know? Damn. I'm going to get some Barbarian flesh out for the... Come on. I know you're running low, but you be alright. Will you be alright? Holy shit. Yeah, we don't need much. Jesus. Need some Barbarian flesh for the parchment of the Purity Seal. And that Purity Seal is probably going to be yellow just to stand out against this armor. And also to give the slightest of a nod toward their possible gene seed. Because that was never truly confirmed. I think the chapter believed they were sons of Dorn until it was revealed that they weren't. And they even fell to some chaos for a bit. And I believe they had gotten forgiven and they had tried to redeem themselves. But if I'm not mistaken, they are eradicated now. So I guess in the end, it just didn't really matter, did it? Go figure. Go figure. You get a mystery and then it just turns out to not matter. But I know there are some fans out there still of this chapter. I know people wanted me to read that book too. And like I said, I had started it. It just, I guess it couldn't hold my attention. That night, I really was just kind of burnt out. Couldn't do it anymore. It's burnt out. And when you're burnt out, it's hard to get past that. I don't want to talk too much on the burnout thing because somebody had asked a poignant question for the Q&A video, so I will address it there. Burnout's no joke, though. Burnout is no joke. Yeah, it happens to all of us. I'd be hard-pressed. I'd be impressed if somebody was like, nope, I never get burnt out of this. I love it too much. I'm like, that's good. I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if a professional hockey player was like, yeah, there are times where I'm just, dude, I'm done. I need something else in my life for a little bit. Jesus. I'd be like, yeah, sure. I get that. Sounds legit to me. I mean, I don't know. But, all right. Purity Seal. I said we were going to go with yellow. We're going to go with Imperial Fist yellow. We're really going to make that thing stand out. Otherwise, it would be subtle, and I'm not subtle. I'm not exactly a subtle person. I do like subtlety. It has its place, and it's very fun, and I do not practice it here. No. But for the eye lenses that we painted, we're going to go with Tesseract Glow. I like this paint. It has like a very lime green, as you can see. It almost looks like fluorescent. And painted over white is where, of course, you're going to get the best results. Maybe even over the brightest of silvers, like Mithril from Army Painter. And you don't need a lot of it, but you just go over what you painted, what you want to glow, and bam, there you go. It's really that easy. It's that simple. Don't ever let anyone tell you that it wasn't. And I'm not sure if I want to freehand. Oh man, their logo. I don't think I want to freehand this, but I don't exactly have a choice. I think we're gonna start though with Evil Chrome. I think that might work for us. I usually try to go with gold, and Greedy Gold, at least for me, is a pain in the ass to try to paint with. So we're going to give this a shot. Ooh, it's very liquidy. Very, very liquidy. Let's shake that up a lot more. Shake it. Go! Right? Couldn't help it. We didn't practice all that time as teenagers for nothing. Giggity. So, there we go. Now that's a proper mixture. Alright, so their symbol. Blah! There it is, and we're going to try to do that. Okay? I can barely remember off the top of my head what it is. So, I want to just make sure that I get this actually centered this time. So, I'm looking at the thing. Alright. We'll be fine right there. Alright, we're going to leave a base for that cup. We're going to go up. Up like that. That's fine. Because see, also these colors, hard to come out against the shininess of that purple, man. And gold will work, but you have to go over it a couple times, and that's where things get a little cakey, and you start to really risk things not looking right. And you know what? We'll even get out some Greedy Gold. I just got to find it over here. My wife has been using it, so there it is. I'm going to shake that bad boy up plenty. All right. Greedy Gold. Here we go. Whew. You is bright. Ew, get off my finger. Ah. Got that on my finger. I don't want it on my finger. Anyway. We'll show you just how much more bright this is. Alright, so we see the logo. I can't really block the light so you can see the symbol all that much better. But all I can do is go over it and watch as it hardly backs up my words of it being brighter. Right before our very eyes, right? It's painting over this purple is kind of hard, and I don't have transfers over it. I usually like to quote-unquote cheat and just get custom transfers of things, but I never really paint the Soul Drinkers, so I never exactly care. I've done it once. Where are you? You're up here, aren't you? Yeah, you are. There you are. I've done it before. And it's not the best. It's not the best, but the mini came out well. I liked him. He was my Primaris Ancient with an awesome little kit bash sword. Nothing major. It's just I thought I did a pretty good job on it. He's sitting on my Etsy if anybody wants it. And yes, I believe that price is going to stay. Tell you what, when it comes to pricing the Battletech stuff, that is getting to be a challenge. That's why I hadn't posted anything yet. It is very challenging trying to accurately price anything because those models are very different. So we'll see. I did finish a Lance or a Star, however you want to think of it, for Clan Wolf. So I got 5 mech, a squad of 5. Just waiting. I haven't posted it yet. But my Etsy does need an update. I'm not getting the traffic anymore. And no one's buying, which is fine because a lot of those models are old. Alright, this is a very subtle thing. But we are going to leave that alone because we got it and it needs time to dry before I try to put another layer on there. And it will be okay. Because it's technically time for us to assemble him. And I think we'll buy us just a little bit more time. I'm going to get out some mummy robe real quick. And with this mummy robe, we're going to dry brush not dry brush, we're going to edge highlight that bolter a tad bit. Why do I use mummy robe and not matte white? Matte white is far too bright to be dry brushing. To be dry brushing or to edge highlight. Man, look at the curve on that one. Whew. It's like an empty prom date. I guess I should say a lonely prom date. But guess what? It works! So yeah. We use mummy robe because it's not as harsh. Gives a more, I guess, natural look to it. At least I think it does. I like how it looks more than using a white. I like the off-white contrast for it. It just kind of works. Other people might want something brighter. That's your call. It's your mini. I'm sure some people out there would be like, well, yeah, you dry brush with this and then you edge highlight with that. And I will say, yeah, you're not wrong there either. You absolutely could do that. But that's not what we're going to do here. Just like we're going to take some of that barbarian flesh that we had. And then we're going to, bam, bam, we're going to edge the leather. Edge that leather right up. Let it stand out. Even though the slap chop technique kind of gives you all that highlight. I still like doing some edge highlighting. It's always good to practice. Keeps your skills, ready. Can't keep things. You can't be so sharp with your painting if you don't practice, though. And the less you practice, of course, the more rusty you're going to get. All right, but I think it's probably been a little long enough for the shoulder. So before we touch it again, we're going to get out our trusty glue, and we're going to start putting this bad boy together because we're only at 45 minutes. We're at 45 minutes. We'll put him together. Then we can touch up that. We could touch that logo up. I dropped it. No, I dropped the glue. Of course, you flew all the way under. Like, here's the table. Instead of falling here where my feet are, even here, it's all the way over here. You suck. You suck. All right, we got it. Jesus. Holy Jesus. All right, let's get the glue. Crisis averted. We're good. We're good. We're good. Of course, the glue is not. It didn't take it right away, so hold on. Put a little bit more glue. All right. I don't want. Oh my God. Sorry, it was getting super duper stuck already, which is, it's okay. It's just holy shit. I need you in a very specific spot because these Firstborn Marines, as awesome as they are, sometimes they end up looking kind of janky. And I don't want too much jankiness. There we go. Because his shoulders are a little offset. They're a little bit offset, and that's good. That's actually good because that gives him a natural running pose. You know, not everything is going to be even. Shoulders drop, they raise and drop as you're going. You know, watch anybody run, at least any professional. You're not going to run stiff-armed or anything like that. You're going to have some bounce to you. Your arms, your shoulders, everything is going to rotate, shuffle, move. But you know, I think we'll leave that. And then we'll get out this. And we're going to get our transfers. Since it's only like 45 minutes, 47 minutes. Yeah, we'll throw some transfers on there. And then I'll do the base off screen. As I've been doing lately. Because I really don't feel like having another video that's well over an hour. I really don't. That's my personal preference. But it's okay. I'm not going to do you yet. Because arrows need to dry first. So I have a skull for the left knee, a number 4 for the right knee. I have an old school arrow for the shoulder, for his battle line indication. And while those sit there and soak for a little bit, we are now going to jump back to this. And we're going to try to get it. I had a brain fart. I totally forgot what I had on the TV. I was like, why am I hearing this? Right. Like, yeah, it's Pokemon Lo-Fi. Lo-Fi really is cool, man. There was not an influencer. I've never considered him to be an influencer. He was just a really funny guy. He was a big guy, too. I didn't want to call him fat because I like him, but if you want to think of him as fat, then okay. But he played guitar, and he was so good at it. But he was very funny. He made a lot of good vines or memes. And I just cannot remember that dude's name. And I discovered lo-fi through him because he made a he made a funny video about listening to Tool, getting high and listening to Tool. And he was like, "No, man, I just want to chill here." He's Scottish, if that helps. He was like, "No, man, I just want to sit here you know, I got my lo-fi, I'm working on some music. And he's like, yeah, man, but do you want to do this and that? He's like, nah, man, I think I just want to chill here and listen to this, man. I'm okay, man. You know, it's whatever. Eventually he gets convinced to get high and listen to Tool anyway. But him talking about listening to lo-fi, it's just some lo-fi beats is what he was doing, or what he was listening to, which is cool to me. And now that I've had time to actually sit and hone a craft alone, yeah, I get the appeal of lo-fi. It was never really in my repertoire. It was never in my arsenal for music, my musical taste. I never really considered it, and here I am listening to a bunch of it. Like anybody who got into it, I had to find my ways to get into it. Something to identify it with, right? So naturally, I found video game lo-fi, and that's exactly how I did it. And it was Pokemon. It was the Pokemon lo-fi that did it. That's exactly the ones that did. It was not the current Silver that I'm listening to, but it really was Pokemon Silver that had gotten me hooked on lo-fi. So that's all right by me. All right, and there we go. Real quick and easy for transfers. They don't really take me that long anymore. You know, now that I kind of know what I'm expecting. And this, honestly, the Microsol setting solution is it's fantastic. It's so fantastic. It makes things so much easier. So much easier. One of the hiccups when it comes to the posting this mini is I have to wait for things to dry. And that's always a pain in the ass. Because not only do I have to wait for those transfers to dry, I have to wait for this base to dry, which, screw it, while I'm still talking. I have to wait for the base to dry. I also have to wait for the Nuln Oil to dry, because I still do use Nuln Oil. I don't use the shade oil in a traditional sense, I guess. Where, you know, apply it and then sponge it away. I don't do any of that. I haven't quite... Oh. Sorry, there was a little bug that flew into the frame. I haven't really tried my hand at those techniques just yet. I would like to, but I'm going to practice that, of course, off camera. Because I don't think that's something I want to practice on camera. Unless people want that. If they want to see the natural progression of somebody trying things and then either it working immediately and everybody gets pissed, or it doesn't work and everyone goes, oh man, it's so nice to see realistic paint expectations. You know, when I say everybody gets pissed because it works immediately, it's like when you're trying something for the first time and it just works, and everyone else, they're just like, no, fuck you, man. You staged that. No, there's no way. You've been practicing that. And like, no, I just got lucky. I don't have any example off the top of my head. No one's actually accused me of any of that kind of crap. I'm like, no way, man. You staged it. Like, oh, shut up. I really would not have time for that kind of crap. I would not. I'm sorry. You think I have the time and energy to stage things? Shut up. Shut up, man. We might be content creators, but we're not content creators, okay? Okay, I got a fucking life. I got kids. I got a wife. We're happy. I don't have time for that. You shut your dirty mouth. And there we go. We got a nice little easy wasteland base, as you can see. I love doing these. Armageddon Dust. It's so easy. It's so easy. You can add the shrubbery if you want, or added rocks. You really can if you want. This, for me, is just something stupid easy and simple. And as like headcanon lore, it allows me to say that multiple legions are there at the same battle, or the same place just at different battles, you know, kind of like the repeats of Armageddon. It's too easy to say things like that because it would work, you know? It would work. And you know what? We're going to get this company numeral wet. Put it right here. The video will end up just being about an hour long. So for those that are wondering, when the base dries, I'm going to shade it first with Reichland Flesh Shade. That is what I'm going to use on it. Darkens everything up with a nice brown flesh shade. And then I'm going to dry brush Krieg Khaki and catch all the raised rocky bits. And that's what gives me my Wasteland base. And it always turns out, well, generally always, pretty well in my opinion. I haven't had too much of a problem with it. I like it very much. I think it works for me. I think it could work for you too. Like I said, it's stupid easy. All right, let's get that bad boy wet. Get my tweezers. Oh, there's so many jokes to make. Let's drop that 6. Ooh, almost perfect. That was almost perfect first try. And there we go. He's good. All I got to do is paint that rim, like I said, after the other stuff. And my goodness, the rim will be the last thing that I paint, because I don't want to put him back on this holder after that happens. So until the next time, my friends, I want you guys to stay happy and healthy. Please, 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 please stay happy. Please, please, please stay healthy. If you guys liked what you saw here, go ahead and give it a like. Hit subscribe. That helps me a lot more than a like does. Share the video. Spread it around. For you Battletech fans, Battletech is going to be coming back. I think the next one I have is a rifleman. I think so. I'm looking at the shelf way over there. It's about 10 feet from me. I think the next one is actually Astra Militarum, so things might change up, things might not. But either way, I will see you guys on the next round. May the Void Father guide your brush. Peace!